Katherine Cargill, and I'm a dual enrollment student at GSU. I don't really know that much about mass incarceration, but I know that incarceration is serving time in prison.
My name is Isabella Luna-Liranzo. I am a sophomore at Georgia State University. I know that it's been increasing over history, and it kind of mainly targets people of color and minority groups throughout history, and it became kind of more of a booming topic during the war on crime and the Reagan era.
My name is Pacheco. I am a freshman at Georgia State. I know that it's been a problem growing up, and since the 1990s, and every single year has been getting worse and worse. I know it's been targeting especially Black and brown communities, Hispanic now with the rates going up. And not only that, they're being taken away a lot of opportunities after this whole system of incarceration due to the fact that they're very limited to what they can do, and it affects them, not only them, but their families and their relatives as well.
Incarceration in the United States has increased due to many economic, political, and philosophical reasons. The idea of lock 'em up and throw away the key dehumanizes the person behind the crime and insists on not allowing them to better themselves. People of color, particularly African Americans, are disproportionately incarcerated. Poor people, regardless of the race, are most likely to be incarcerated. People's chances of ending up in prison rise dramatically in targeted neighborhoods. The burdens of mass incarceration are appointed by gender. Incarceration rates for Hispanics and women have risen sharply since 2001.
I have not, but I mean, I wouldn't treat them differently if I did know someone who was incarcerated.
I did know someone. My brother was incarcerated briefly, but I was young at the time, so I don't really know that many details, so it didn't affect me as much.
I do actually. My brother was incarcerated. It wasn't for too long, but I can tell from experience that although it was a short period of time, my parents, me, we were worried. We didn't know what was happening with him, and I can only imagine to the people that have to spend 10, 15 years, what damage that can cause to not only their relatives, but if they have kids, their sons and daughters, all that stuff. I can tell from a small amount of time that it impacted me, so I cannot even imagine the harm that it will cause to other people. It didn't change the way I looked at him, just because I knew what he was, I knew his morals, I knew his standards, and because of one mistake, it's not gonna change the way that I think, oh no, he's a bad person or this and that. I still see him about who he really is, who he truly is, which is a person of morals, a right person, and a person that wants to keep succeeding. And it impacted him with the ability to get a job and stuff like that. But he still pushed through it, and although it was a hard battle, there was a lot of things we have to pay, because that's how this incarceration system works. He has managed to keep succeeding, and for my own sake, I hope I don't fall into the same steps. I know due to the percentages, I should be going back into prison, but I want to break those standards. I want to break down those racial barriers, and I don't want to continue into the incarceration system, but improve it nonetheless.
Around 2 million people are incarcerated today, compared to 500,000 in the 1980s. Nearly 60,000 youth under age 18 are incarcerated in juvenile jails and prisons in the United States. Almost 70% of those people in prison do not have a high school GED, and around 30% earn a high school diploma while in the system. It is leading to missed job opportunities.
I think everyone deserves an opportunity to get educated, especially when they're not able to have the opportunities to become educated within their own communities before getting incarcerated. I think it's a great opportunity for anyone to have.
I think it's very important that they get an education, because I think everyone deserves the opportunity to get an education.
I feel like it's only right because of the same fact that because of one mistake, it's not going to turn your whole life around. And with being in prison, coming out of it, with no education, more than likely you will fail again. And because of the way the system is made up, you will go back into prison. So I think that everyone deserves an education. And not only that, with prisoners or incarcerated people gaining that education, not only they help their own future, but as well as the future of the country.
Prison education is a vastly underprioritized subject in America today. People are unfamiliar with the treatment of inmates who are not only currently serving their time, but also following their release. The dehumanization that takes place in prisons is not commonly known, making it difficult for inmates to call for help when it's desperately needed. The GSU PET program helps rehumanize individuals who are currently incarcerated.
Education in prisons can help incarcerated individuals readapt to the real world, providing them the opportunity to get high-paying jobs surrounded by successful individuals with both drive, success, and former criminals, helping to reduce the number of reincarcerations nationwide. When looking at the poverty to incarceration rates, we can see that the relationship is very close. If we can reduce poverty levels by creating opportunities, we can effectively be the beginning to the end of mass incarceration.